Alright, we're gonna do test corrections. If you're an online student, make sure you guys check your grade on Schoology because the test grades are posted there. Okay. So here we go. Let's take a look together at number 1. It says in 1868, a newspaper titled The Revolution was founded by Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. Its motto was men, their rights, and nothing more. Women, their rights, and nothing less. What political movement did the newspaper support? Okay?
B.
Anyone want to share what they got?
B.
Bryson? Okay, the correct answer is B. Okay? Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony, they're both women, okay, who are fighting for women's rights during this time. Okay, they're wanting to, they are inspired by what document? Does anyone remember? Good, Cameron. They're inspired by the Declaration of Independence because the Declaration says, you know, you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and all men are created equal. And so they're going to take that statement and say, you know, not just all men should be created equal, but men and women. So Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton are associated with women's suffrage, fighting for women's rights. Okay? We understand. Any questions on number 1? Following? I'm looking around. Okay, number 2. Speaker 1 says we need high tariffs so that we can freely import needed foreign products. Speaker 2 says we need low tariffs to protect our textile industry. Speaker 3, we need low tariffs in order to freely export products to foreign countries. And Speaker 4, we need high tariffs to protect our domestic industries. Which speaker best represents a northern view of the protective tariff? Okay, so this tariff, let's talk it over. Okay, this tariff, what did it put a tax on?
Stop.
Okay, Anna, you following along? Okay, what did the tariff tax? Anyone remember? Who did it put a tax on? Okay, the tariff, anyone remember the nickname it got? Tariff of
Independence.
Abominations.
Good. Okay, it was the tariff of abominations. Okay, and it got that nickname because the South did not like it. Okay, so they named it the tariff of abominations, and it was a tax on British imports. Okay, goods that the British are sending over to the United States, and so the British are getting a tax on their goods, which is that going to make British goods cheaper or more expensive?
Expensive.
Good. That tax is going to increase the price of British goods. Okay, and it's going to then make people buy American-made goods. So if the British made a T-shirt and the northern factories made a T-shirt, which T-shirt is going to be cheaper? The British one or the American-made T-shirt? Which one's going to be cheaper? American, right? Because it doesn't have a tax on it. The tax on the British goods, American-made T-shirts going to be cheaper. Okay, so that's going to force people to buy T-shirts from the northern factories. Okay, but the South, you know why they don't like the tax? Anyone know why? Okay, the South. You know, Cameron?
Too much.
Those are farmers.
Okay, so the South, they are farmers, you're on the right track, and they make raw materials. For example, maybe they make cotton. Okay, say you're a cotton farmer in the South. The British are going to be a business partner with you. They are going to buy some of your cotton. Okay, the British might buy some of your cotton, but now there's a tax on British goods. They don't want to do business with you anymore because your country is placing a tax on them. So they're going to say, you know what, South, we don't want to buy your cotton anymore. We'll go somewhere else because there's a tax from America. Do we understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so who supports this tax then? North or South?
South.
Who supports it? The North, right? Because their goods are going to get bought more. If they're not buying British goods, they're going to buy American-made goods, made in the North. And the South, why don't they like it, Kirsten? Why doesn't the South like the tax? You're good. Just talk.
I have no idea.
Okay? Because Why would they not like the tariff on the British? Because what did they do before with the British?
Trade cotton.
Good. For example, they would do business with the British. They might exchange their cotton, right? Good job. Okay. So the correct answer to number 2 would be, it's asking which speaker represents the North. Do the North like the tax or not?
No.
Okay, the North do like the tax. Okay, the South doesn't, right? The North likes the tax because it's forcing people to buy their products. So if they like the tax, which speaker says that they would like the tax?
3.
Good, Aaron. J is correct, okay? Speaker 4. Because they would want a high tariff to protect their domestic, which means like American industries. Which of the following is a responsibility of United States citizens? Okay, what is something when you turn 18, it should be a responsibility for you to have as a U.S. citizen?
C.
Okay?
D.
AJ, what'd you get?
I got D.
D?
Yeah.
Okay, D is correct. Electing representatives. Because, okay, D, listen, electing representatives is like voting. Okay, when you turn 18, it says it's a responsibility of a U.S. citizen. Okay, your responsibility is to vote, right? If you care about your country and you want to see, you want to push the agenda that you have, then you need to go and vote in elections. You can't ask for a change if you're not going out and voting, right? Okay, so electing representatives, going out and voting for president, voting for senators, voting for House of Representatives, that's a responsibility you should have as a U.S. citizen. So number 3 was D, electing representatives. Okay, now number 4, we're going to place these in the correct order. Okay, list the correct order of events. Which happened first, second, or third?
H.
J.
Okay,
G.
J.
J.
it is J. Okay, J is correct. So you guys need to understand, okay, Henry Clay becomes Secretary of State with the corrupt bargain. Okay, the corrupt bargain, who became president under the corrupt bargain?
Andrew Jackson.
No, before Andrew Jackson.
I can't see that.
This is before Andrew Jackson.
I can't see that.
Okay, good. John Quincy Adams. Okay, so John Quincy Adams becomes president under the corrupt bargain. Anyone remember what was the bargain? What was the deal? Cameron.
Henry Clay gave John Quincy Adams his votes and became Secretary of State.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Okay, so Henry Clay he was the Speaker of the House, and the vote went to the House, and Henry Clay tells all his buddies in the House, he says, hey, go vote for John Quincy Adams. And in return for him getting votes for John Quincy Adams gives him the gives him the Secretary of State position. So that happens first. Okay, next, our 7th president gets elected. Who's the 7th president, Bryson?
Can I see that far? Can I get you closer?
It's on the order of events on your test.
Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson, okay? 7th president is elected, Andrew Jackson, okay? And then the 3rd order of events is something that Andrew Jackson did. What did Andrew Jackson do, Kayanni? It's on the order of events on number 4.
I know.
That's Cap.
What did he do, Kirsten?
Something with the National Bank.
Good, okay? Number 4, it says he closed the National Bank. Good. Okay, so that's your order of events. Henry Clay first becomes Secretary of State. 2, Andrew Jackson becomes president. 3, they close the bank. The correct answer for 4 was J.
No, you don't.
Shut up.
Number 5, what factor led many farmers, families, and young women to move to cities during the 19th century? Okay, why are women, families, and farmers moving to cities, Noah? Why would they be moving to cities?
It's D.
A.
Noah, what'd you get on number 5?
I got A.
Okay, A is correct. Okay, farmers, families, and young women, they're going to be moving to cities because of factory jobs. They're going to work in the factories.
Bro, I said that. No, you don't.
Okay, we following along? We understanding? Any questions on any of this?
No.
Okay, let's move on to number 6.
Only got one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a law that was applauded in the North but despised in the South. Manufacturers liked me, but farmers wished I would go away. My passage led to the nullification crisis of 1832. What law am I, AJ?
J.
H.
Okay.
Son of
Christian, it is H.
You.
Okay. Tariff of abominations. What number did we already go over that was similar to this question?
2.
Yep. If you look back, it's number 2. Remember? Represents a view of the protective tariff. Okay, and then number 6 talks about that tariff.
Now rush you.
No.
I gotta go.
You need to look at this.
Dad.
Okay? Number 7.
Silver.
Which of the following gave Andrew Jackson the power to negotiate resettlement treaties with American Indians?
B.
Okay?
Hey, you should leave me. Mom,
Yeah,
she doesn't like
you.
I see how it is.
So,
No. On Goshen?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
Huh? Can I go restroom?
Why is your then?
bye, Kirsten.
Okay.
Okay. So, which of the following gave Andrew Jackson the power to negotiate resettlement treaties with the Indians? Okay. Christian, what'd you get?
B.
B is correct. The Indian Removal Act. Okay. The Indian Removal Act is what removed the Indians. What did Worcester versus Georgia do?
They.
Anyone remember what Worcester versus Georgia decision was?
That one was on the Indian side, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was on the Indian side. So on Worcester versus Georgia, that was the one where they said the Supreme Court ruled that the Indians had a right to their land. Okay, and then Andrew Jackson, he overturns that decision and says, you know what, we're gonna go push the Indians out anyway, right? Number 8, how was the election of Andrew Jackson in 1828 significant to the development of the political system? Okay, how was his election significant? Remember, what was Andrew Jackson's nickname? President of the...
Republican Party, so 8.
Good, Cameron's got it. President of the Common Man. Okay, that was his nickname. So in 1828, okay, who do you think would be considered the common man during this time period?
G.
Not G.
A.
It's F, yeah. Okay, F would be correct. It's more white males could vote. He was the president for the common man, and in 1828, he was the white male would be considered the common man, right? Okay, that was who were more people are voting because he was the president not for just the upper rich, like elite class, but also the poor, like farmers too. That was the common man. Okay, so number 8 was F. It was more democratic as more white males could vote. 7 was B, the Indian Removal Act. Okay. Number 9, which conflict resulted in a British blockade of the East Coast that contributed to the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the United States?
B.
Okay. Okay, B is correct. Why is that blockade going to cause the Industrial Revolution? Anybody know? Okay. We had a system going, a trading system. Okay, what was that system before?
It was
The United States was based primarily around what?
Indian.
What are we doing for a living? What are most people doing for a living? Agricultural farming, right? Most people are farming in America before this time. Okay? And so the system was that Americans are farming, and in Great Britain, what are they doing over there? Mostly. What do you think? If we're going to trade with them, so it's not farming.
They're getting supplies.
Okay, they're making stuff, right? They're manufacturing, working in factories, making finished products, okay? So we're gonna trade, the idea was that we'll trade our raw materials, our crops, for their finished products, right? You'll trade your cotton, your corn, your wheat, whatever it is, for their desks, okay? Whatever it is, their chairs, their coats, whatever. Okay, we're trading our crops for their finished products. Okay, but then when a War of 1812 happens, they're going to blockade the East Coast. Okay, they're going to shut us off so where we can't trade. That's going to force America to do what?
Make their own products.
Make their own products, right? If we can no longer trade with them for their finished products, we're going to have to start making our own, right? So that's why the War of 1812, when we go to war with Great Britain, leads to the Industrial Revolution. So number 9 was B. Number 10. How did the Cherokees resist the Indian Removal Act? Okay. How did the Cherokees fight the Indian Removal Act?
G.
Okay.
They sought relief through the Supreme Court.
Yeah, H.
H.
They sought relief through the Supreme Court. And what was the name of that Supreme Court case, Kaylin? What was the name of it? It was on number 7. One of them.
The
One of the answer choices on number 7.
Indian Removal Act.
No.
Using
Cameron, help her out.
Worcester versus Virginia.
Yep. Worcester versus Georgia. Oh, really?
It is on mine too.
Okay. Well, Worcester versus Georgia. Well, it's not the correct answer for number 7, but it's the correct answer basically for number 10. They're gonna seek relief through the Supreme Court. Okay, and that's gonna lead them to, that Supreme Court case. Worcester versus Georgia said the Indians have a right to their land. Number 11, rise of the common man. Vetoed the charter of the Second National Bank, removed American Indians to Oklahoma, and asserted the authority of the federal government in the nullification crisis. Which of the following U.S. presidents is described in the information above? Okay, who does this describe? B. Andrew Jackson. Okay, Andrew Jackson is the president for the common man. He's the one that moved and relocated the Indians, right? Okay, that's who we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Number 12, which of the following documents most influenced the Seneca Falls Convention activists such as Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott? Okay, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, remember she was in number 1. What is she advocating for?
Women's suffrage.
Women's suffrage. Okay, so we know Elizabeth Cady Stanton advocates for women's suffrage. What document would have best inspired her? We already kind of answered this.
H.
What was it, Cameron?
Declaration of Independence.
The Declaration of Independence. Okay, the correct answer is J. Declaration of Independence. All right. Remember, I said at the beginning, what statement from the Declaration might have inspired them?
Everyone is treated equal.
Good. All men are created equal.
And what about
And
women?
then you have the right to what?
To
Life,
livelihood or something.
life, liberty,
And justice.
Pursuit of happiness.
and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. Number 13. Which case found in the favor of the Cherokees that they had a lawful claim to land in Georgia? Okay, we already kind of talked about this. It was B, Worcester versus Georgia, right? The key word here in number 13 is
Georgia.
land in Georgia, right? If you just see land in Georgia and then one of the answer choices says Georgia, that would be a good guess, right? Okay, so number 13 was B, Worcester versus Georgia. Number 14, what impact did President Jackson have on the national bank? Okay, how did Andrew Jackson, what did he do with the national bank?
J.
Okay, good. So we already know just from number 11, it tells us, if we go back up to number 11, it says Andrew Jackson vetoed the charter of the Second National Bank. So we know he does, what does veto mean?
Denied.
Denied or got rid of, right? So he's getting rid of that bank. So then we know if he's getting rid of it, well, it can't be he guaranteed additional funding. Okay, that would be adding more money to the bank. If he's getting rid of it, he wouldn't do that. If he's getting rid of the bank, would he serve on the board of directors? No. Okay. So, and then it says, H says he passed executive orders so that the bank could operate indefinitely. That means for like ever. They could operate indefinitely. No. It's got to be J. He removed all the funds from the bank and redistribute them to other banks.
State. The
Okay.
state banks.
The state banks. What is the best title for this list above? We have providing new lands for
C.
farmers, spreading business opportunities, and opening new markets for trade.
C.
Okay? Correct answer is C. Reasons for belief in manifest destiny. Okay? Manifest destiny, what is that? What was manifest destiny? Oh, come on. You got it?
I'm not sure, are we gonna, like, land or something like
Okay, we're trying to get new land. Okay, where is this land located that we're expanding to? Which direction? West. Okay, we're expanding west. They believed it was that manifest destiny was that it was their, like, it was God's will. God wanted them to go expand west. Okay, and it didn't matter what came in their way, that they were just going to keep on expanding. Okay, so that was manifest destiny. So 15 was C. 16. Which of the following is a responsibility that comes with United States citizenship? So we already got one. What was the first responsibility we got already?
Voting.
Voting, right? It's your responsibility to elect representatives and to vote. What's another responsibility? Good, Christian.
G.
It's G, reporting for jury duty. Okay, so when you turn 18, you'll get something in the mail sometime that says you have to go serve jury duty, where you go to the court and you listen in and decide on a case, what your opinion is on that case, whether you think someone's guilty or innocent. If you get it in the mail, you have to go. But
he didn't have to go because he was doing school full time.
Yeah.
He said
there's a couple exemptions that say you don't have to go. But like, for instance, I got one in the mail a couple years ago, but I was a full-time student in college, and so that was an exemption. Like, I didn't have to go since I was in full-time school.
But if you don't have really anything to do,
if you're just if you just have a job and stuff, like,
they'll make you go.
They'll make you go, and your job is required to let you. Like, your job has to let you go.
Yeah, you still get paid.
You still get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Why is
like
it required to go?
Because if it wasn't required, how would they get jurors? Like,
no one would want.
no one would want to go, and then you wouldn't have a jury on your
You
case.
have to sit there, and then you have to make the bad decision.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So, yep. So responsibility is G, reporting for jury duty. Number 17. An American farmer in 1845, they would most likely support U.S. expansion across the continent because of manifest destiny's promise of. Okay. Let's take a look. An American farmer, let's just think about this logically. Okay, if you're a farmer in 1845, or if you're a farmer today, what would make you as a farmer want to move? What if someone said, hey, they say, what would make you move? If you're a farmer, what do you think would make you want to move? Good soil. Okay, good. Good soil and land, right? That would make you want to move. If you're a farmer and this is your farm, this classroom, it's about this big. Okay, is that a big farm?
Not really.
Not at all, right? Okay, so what would make you move if this was the size of your farm?
If
it was bigger, right? Okay, if someone said, hey, there's all this land out here, and there's all this farmland and lots of animals and things like that, you could move out that way. You think that would make a farmer want to move? Yeah, right? So the correct answer is D, because how does a farmer make money? The answer is economic opportunity, and economic means money. Okay, anytime you see economic or economy, means money.
More money.
Okay, so they're looking for opportunity to make money. And how does a farmer make money, Aaron? How does a farmer make money? Crops, right? Crops. So they're going to look for a place to have more crops. Economic opportunity. 17 is D. 18. The American claim is by the right of our blank to overspread and to possess the whole of the continent. What belongs in the blank? Okay, Anna, what did you get on 18? You put what? It's F, G, and H on 18.
I put H.
H, good. Manifest destiny. Okay, that's correct. It's the right of our manifest destiny. And what was manifest destiny, Aaron? The belief that it's what? Who tells them that they should expand? Okay, help them out, somebody. What's manifest destiny? We just did this. Come on.
It was when
They're expanding which direction?
North.
West.
West.
Okay, we're expanding west. Westward expansion is manifest destiny. Expanding west because they believed. Who told them that it was their right?
The Supreme Court.
Nope. They believed it was God's will, right? They believed God told them that they had the right to all this land. And so they're going to expand west from the Atlantic Ocean, which is east coast by Florida and all that. That's all the way to the Pacific, which is California, all the way out there. Because they believe it was God's will for them to stretch all the way across. That's manifest destiny. 19. What is the best title for the above? Okay, above it says Maine becomes a free state, Missouri becomes a slave state, and the area of the Louisiana Purchase north of the 3630 degrees is closed to slavery. Okay, so what is the best title? Yep, Cameron, say it again. A. Terms of the Missouri Compromise. Okay, so the Missouri Compromise is, described just in the bullet points above. Maine's going to enter as what, Christian?
Maine didn't enter as a free state.
Maine's going to enter as a free state.
And
Missouri enters as a slave state. Okay, and then going forward, it means that anytime a state enters, if a new state comes, okay, say Texas comes in as a slave state because they're in the South, that's what's going to happen eventually. Texas enters as a slave state, what's going to have to happen? Another state's going to have to enter as
free state.
a free state. We have to have that balance, right? Got to keep it balanced. If Texas comes in as a slave state, we need another state to come in as a free state. Understand?
Yeah.
All right. 20. Which of the following transformed the economy of the South in the early 1800s the most? What changed the economy of the South the most, Christian?
H.
H is correct. The invention of the cotton gin. Okay, the cotton gin, if you'll remember, is this machine that's going to, you're going to put the cotton up top and you crank the machine and it's going to put out the seeds of the cotton. It's going to pick those seeds from the cotton. Okay, before, how did they get the seeds out?
You had to do it by hand.
Yeah, you had to do it by hand. You had to grab the cotton and pull out all the seeds, okay?
Which took forever.
Yeah, it took forever. So the cotton gin, it talked about, when we learned about it, how it can do the work of 1,000 men. Okay, that one cotton gin, just cranking that cotton gin, could take as much seeds out as 1,000 men taking the seeds out themselves. Okay, it's a big deal. But is this going to make the problem of slavery bigger or smaller?
It won't affect it.
They're going to be more slaves or less slaves after this?
More. No, less.
No. Okay, it's kind of a trick question. Because you would think if it's making work easier, you need less people, right? That's what you would think. If it's making work easier, you need less people. But what's going to happen is it's actually going to get more, slavery is going to grow even more because people get money hungry. They want more money. They're like, oh, now we can make even more cotton. We can do this even faster. Let's get even more slaves to work even more cotton. And that's just their thought process, okay? So number 20, the economy of the South, what shaped it the most was the cotton gin. Okay? Number 21, the invention of the weaving loom was directly responsible for which of the following? Okay, what was the weaving loom responsible for?
C.
Okay, it is C, introduction of women to the workforce. Okay, remember from the video when we watched the Lowell Mill factory, okay, that factory was ran all by who?
It was women.
Women, right? Women worked the entire factory. And so,
You won't make me mad.
so we have the weaving loom that's going to introduce, and it was directly responsible for getting more women working in the factories. Okay? 21 was C. 22. During the 1840s, the belief in manifest destiny was a major cause of, okay, what was a major cause of manifest destiny?
F.
What'd you get, Christian?
F.
Not F. Okay, the correct answer is H. Okay, conflicts between the United States and neighboring countries. Because remember, as we're expanding west, okay, we're going to start running into problems. Who's occupying the territory in the west? Who's there? Indians. Okay, Indians are in the west. Good. Okay, and then as we get to California and California and Arizona, who owns that territory? Mexico. Okay, so we're gonna get into conflicts with neighboring countries like Mexico. Okay. 23. Which of the following was a defining characteristic of the Jacksonian era? What's the Jacksonian era? What does that mean? Jacksonian. What do we think? Is Andrew Jackson. Okay. Andrew Jackson was the Jacksonian era. What do we see under Andrew Jackson, the Jacksonian era? Which of the following is happening during that time?
Westward expansion.
Good, Christian. Westward expansion. Okay, expanding west. How do we see westward expansion during Andrew Jackson's presidency? What happens during his presidency that's showing a westward expansion?
Moving the Indians.
Good, Christian. Or moving the Indians out of their land, remember? Moving the Indians out and moving west, okay? That's how we see westward expansion during Andrew Jackson's presidency. Number 24. Belief that the United States should extend from the Atlantic to Pacific Oceans, relocating of the southeastern Indians to Oklahoma Territory, and United States purchase of present-day southwestern states Arizona, New Mexico, and California. To which of the following eras do these defining characteristics belong?
F.
Westward expansion, okay? It's the answer back to back. Okay? Who occupies that territory in California and Arizona?
Mexico.
Mexico, right? And that's how we run into problems with other countries. Any questions over any of those? Okay, some more confused on? Okay, if we took it again, could we make a 100?
Yes.
Possibly.
No.
I didn't
No.
read all the
I think
questions.
Listen, when you're taking tests, look at the questions, because some of the questions